take notice. How could everything feel right and the timing so offbeat? Drunken master style, make it sound like a mom king. Couldn't match the style. We don't kill them softly, make the sound vibrate, penetrate through the concrete. Take notice, some wanna off me. All the crown mates don't let the hate exhaust me. When it resonates, be too late. Where you lost, he got me digging in the crates, strong for the grace that brought me. Take notice, so many mistakes, tough breaks, still the top meet the nights on stage. No state, it's a mockery, mine's not safe, they ain't straight, too much cockery. There's no escape from your fate, you do not see. Take notice, my state of mind, state is brass tacks through the fog-free before reaction, analyze. Situation serious, talking off, conscious knowledge and sense, make you delirious, it's just sprinkles, it's just sprinkles. Here comes Mr. Softy, too young to handle, initiated into the posse. Take notice, yo, this guilty crime got me. Many will call, but only few chose to pass. Backs against the wall, some chose to laugh. Steady and calm, few chose to rap. Who the what said, he won't laugh. Take notice, drop the L-bomb, boom, fell to blast. Wisdom of the womb, I set the cast. When asked, up for the task, I made a better catch up, cause we move fast. Take notice, focus, Alakazam. See the underlying keys in the movie Shazam. Though I miss the palm trees and the beautiful sand. Embrace destiny, always will, never ran. Better ask somebody, don't know who I am. Never find me on the book of the ground. Take notice, do what we want, cause you know that we can. Your favorite rapper, yo, he's a fan. Notice, rules of engagement when you step on my land. Precision executing all the plan. Stay focused, no one's innocent by where I stand. Don't need me, she don't need no man. Felt hopeless, didn't ask, I was dealt that hand. See right through the chamois scams, took notice. Diagnosis, high voltage, very corrosive. One dosage might bring you the closest. What's the prognosis? Extremely explosive. We was on that coated. We was on that coated. Narda, Trevor, D-Rock, Nosage, Kurak, Protexhead, Jelly Bean, oh shit. Was wanna be Montana, but all I know is Sosa live. F your couch, nigga, depending where your sofa is. In your house, nigga, feng shui was overdid. Run your mouth, big up, know your career over with. Left, right, always been soldiering. Stand at attention, head high. Looks over, kid, to ski the airman. We fly, control the wind, don't gotta say more. Every time, you already know the thing. Reason for the rhyme, it's to remind. We hold the ring, championship mind. On the line, we going in. It's moments like this that we find we're born to win. Iron sharp iron, but if we dull and the light is dim, no calculate, ever plan. Do it on the whim, can't map moves I'm making. Goddamn, they looking slips, they supposed to be faking. I'm outside looking in. Rules that I'm breaking, on the south side they call it sin. Risk that I'm taking, I'm going up on the limb. Blue miss a sensation, she was there through thick and thin. Antennas to the ages, my locks I'll never trim. Take notice, you can smell it, you can smell it. Act like the shit don't stink, you be telling. Act like the shit won't sink. Who knows what compelling? When these tracks probably made it thick. I ain't buying what he's selling. Ask bylaws, connive and wink. Secret handshake, say they white, but they all pink. Red nose when they shake, shot nose off the stick. Turn black and blue when you bruise, it's like you really ain't. Thought I was the colored one, had me fool, really convinced. Almost had to break you, on the verge, you on the brink. No, it sounds like I hate you, but that's absurd, it's just the case. I'm working out in my armor, make sure that there's no chinks. We don't deal with informers, dirty little things. Bottom decimals and commas make that deficit just shrink. Just barracudas and piranhas, we don't even blink. We eliminate the drama, then everything just sinks. Take notice. Run the muck on them.
Nigga, you foul.
Cluck on them.
Quack, quack.
Taffy.
Or Donald Duck on them.
Nigga, you a clap.
Got that Jeff Daniels on them.
When you see us,
You foul.
got a Seth on them.
You be in the crowd.
Run the check on them.
You be talking loud.
Nike step on them.
Lies not allowed.
Take notice. Take notice. Proclamation judicial, not a mason official. Temple head on a swivel, see rights are not civil. jurisdiction challenge, railroaded acquittal, ex parte no trial, dismissal is artificial. Straw man is not a lawman but ends legacy. In color of course, more racket than tennis. Where colored man has no rights. And sick of this more thing, Jamal and Black Knight, Robin Hood and Z, not Cornish but Moorish Americans stand on squares, surging adrenaline. Take notice, walk the cross with a fez on. Your favorite rapper has a dress on and leave press on. Take notice, you got hex and lost focus, while I see the five behind my head like Jokic. Are you listening or under hypnosis? Is intelligence overpowered by your emotions? Take notice, crack team shots get blood clots, no what the Gen Z zombie culture. No Thanksgiving eating thighs of turkey vultures. Never see slaves, only black or more sculptures. Take notice, hailstorms and swarms locusts. When affirming, no claps, hands, palms open. Got mans with hugs, brotherly love, holy covenant. Take notice, Moorish government, unconscious Moors used to meet quotas. Chicago congressman won from the Moorish voters. Elders took notice to what Drew Ali said. Oscar Bay next to the prophet cause the priest is dead. Bay Anderson on his right, Moorish hijab. Right to bear arm, Moors might wear a niqab. Law and order mind, traders drawing quarter time. Cutting off hands and ears for committing the crime. Vegan beef with dirty Moors is not a family feud. Families fight, one's wrong, have perception skewed. Spiritual altitude, lower self-subdued. No sucrose drinks or European poison foods. Holistic versus my foe is alkalines. Pastor only speaking tongues from alto wines. For treason they all face the firing line. Most bystander not preventing the crime. Society invites it, then rewrites it. If a battle can't be won, don't fight it. Not saying see corruption and be silent, be defiant. Never punish all the clever corporate tyrants. Take notice, politicians touch their own children. Yours get shot up and in the news for causing killings. Calling them black translates to living in death. Trans march for rights with their BIPOC breath. Take notice, sex ed taught in daycare. False evidence appearing real is how you say fear. Claim you're woke but still, you're dead and sleeping. Can't you see you popping pills for the thrill seeking? Thinking they can fly, off balconies leaping. One's face lift like weekend, too much competing. Trying to be someone else, won't be themselves. Skinny jeans got their manhood, short like elves. Weaves and eyelashes, puckering lips and tongues out. Should be enough to have dad's guns out. Take notice, we sit back and watch it happen. He's in extensions, lap dancing devils while rapping. She's in every video, twerking, ass slapping. Y'all the Victor and Dre and shot, dildo strapping. I see what they trying, I took notice. I see their motives as they're bringing 12 roses. Bullets are used on blacks, now the fire hoses. Necrophiliacs and bodies before it decomposes. Take notice.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moorish presents Common Sense with
Legendary, bury me in the North Gate Cemetery, February the 4th date. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence alarm makes it another lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm soft bait, rapping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J, Israel. Had no before I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it. So the snake's still showing up, stakes still high, so the rate's still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death if it's slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astral plane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life. Finish him.
Morris Omar, key man oracle. Using trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Facts slap a dirty more or a Drew Ali critic. Calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved. Or cut like a close shave. Drowned in my brainwaves, squash my heat waves. Activating Kundalini. Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini. Selassie I in exile. Reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real. All I see
is false evidence. They are feminists, stomped on by elephants. More like more prejudice, but want Moorish benefits. When you feel the pull magnetic resonance, apis horns of the sacred book all maleficent. Great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness, no pestilence. Ace all the testaments, tap into remembrance, never to forget again. Use energy right, not put spell effects on men. Wandering the earth plane with more veiled shades, keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades. It's been decades since Christian crusades, not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets. Holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday. War ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors present Common Sense and Wiki. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Long, Eddie Bowl. I am just coming off of this shot. Y'all don't know what that is. That's the vegetarian deliciousness that they always put together. It's part of the ritualistic practice of Ishkan or the Hindus or anywhere you go that deals with the Veda text. I know a lot of Moors, this Moorish mud. A lot of us really don't get into the Vedas, man. And I'm noticing that. And I got some wisdom while sitting down studying under the Sri Bhagavatam about Radha and her connection to Krishna and the male-female dynamic and aspect of how Radha is so exalted to a point where you could be a sinner and you kick it with Radha and she vibe with you like that to the point where you can get the booms, and let's just say you on that passage, whatever, trying to get to enlightenment, heaven, whatever you want to call it, your nirvana. Radha just give you like, yo, Krishna, let him in. You know what I'm saying? Let her in. This was deep. It was I mean, I'm gonna find the doctrine and break it down. However, that brought me to the power of the divine feminine and how that works. This is what I was seeing, my point of view, because a lot of us that deal with Islam, we say Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I'm a thinker. You can't really lock me in any type of thought process. And when I look at the name Allah, that's female. That has a female attribute to it, so to speak, because of the Allah. If you want to say it's male and female, okay, then we still talking about the same thing, kind of like with Krishna and Radha. It's a balance of that and how that female cannot be ignored. We got to get back to mama, man. M-A-M-A. I'm talking about make America Morocco again. How we gonna do that? I'm putting it down right in the step, man. It's mama, man. I'm coming through. I ain't gonna mark my fast, however, but I'm coming with the mama hats, man. Courtesy of the Moorish Mud Show. We missing out on this divine feminine.
Islam Wars, peace and love. We're out here today. You know how we do. We got 7:30 with the good Mother Roz. We got class at 7:30 for those who signed up, who's been on there. But before that, we gotta build with the more right now. We gotta build with the more. Peace and love.
Peace and love, bro. All is well.
That's all we need to know. So what inspired that video? And then, of course, for those who don't know who you are, let's put that on the record. But what inspired the video with the the message about honoring the mother.
Well, it was just a lot that I've seen lately, and I was at I go to the Ishkan Temple regularly. So with that and just studying the Vedas, I do my Moorish mud shows, and I just was like, okay, why don't we bring a different aspect to the show and show a lot of the different quadrants about what Moorish science really is, holistically is, versus just the Islamic point of view. So the whole thing with Mama is, we all come from the matriarch. This is once a matriarch. Africa had the patriarch, but over here in the Americas, we always dealt with Mama. I think Mama, our women, are salvation, man. Once they can really get it, wake up, snap out of it, I think this thing will be over overnight. This nightmare would just cease. So I think the inspiration was more the divine feminine driven and allowing that knowledge of that component to manifest. I say it like that.
Islam. Just your background. You know what you repping. You know, as far as
Say it one more time.
what are you repping as far as the genre? You know, the music genre. If you can just speak on your foundation and how you got to this place of transitioning to more
I'm
science.
from Detroit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I don't know what happened to the well, basically, okay, man, background on music. Hip hop, first it was gospel. I grew up in the church. So coming from Detroit, gospel, church, the whole, man, I'm talking about there was no time when I was not in church growing up. So with that, I gotta say it was a lot of prayer, studying, Bible study, you name it, that went down. So by the time I heard Big Daddy Kane, ain't no half stepping. By the time he got to end, he said, Assalamu alaikum. Break him and take him and shake him and mold him and make him hold the peace sign, Assalamu alaikum. I said, Assalamu alaikum? What kind of gibberish is that? Maybe I might have been 11. What kind of gibberish? Oh, man, I thought he was dope, man. He couldn't even finish the line. He gonna say some gibberish, Assalamu alaikum. And then I start going around asking people, you ever heard Assalamu? What that mean? At church, no. But it was a brother around the corner from me by the name of Deuce. He was one of the brothers who taught me how to rap at first. And he started telling me about Islam, the Nation of Islam, Muhammad. He had that book. This back when Malachi Z. York was high.
Yeah.
Or Imam Isa. So he had that Leviathan 666.
Oh, yeah.
So I was heavy into the revelation. I was heavy into, scripture, all of that. I'm just now getting into the rap thing. But harassing his brother about this book got me more interested into hip hop. And then this guy eventually linked up with Big Proof from the 5Ella D12, Eminem best friend situation. That's how I started rapping, and both of them trained me. And then, that whole 8 Mile movie, that was like a part of my life, rolling with these guys. Deuce was the one driving, though. Eminem wasn't driving. You feel me? Mm-hmm. But the paint gun incidents, all of that, we started pioneering this hip hop. I saw you bumping into Jay Dilla. I've known Jay Dilla since 2nd grade. That was my first producer once I started recording with the 5Ella, or we would call Yafu Dafu back then. So making beats with him, having that background, we basically, that whole neo soul, the Roots, Common, when all of them came around, yeah, I was there for all of that. So from that, having that spiritual level of hip hop, inspiring others, keeping it metaphysical, never stopping, just keeping it growing, man. It's just, just I'm a hip hop pioneer as far as Detroit is concerned. Wouldn't be no Dilla, wouldn't be no Eminem if it wasn't for 5 Ella. And that's the group that I come from with the dude Deuce and Proof. So I think that's a little bit of, is that a little bit of something?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good segue for the Moorish element and how that kicked off for you.
Well, the Moorish element has always been there.
Okay, and then another question too, just as you said that, also too, it was the same thing that you said with the Assalamu Alaikum. It was the same thing with Slum Village with the turban.
Now, interesting.
For us, you know what I mean? Like looking at it, like why is he wearing a turban? You know what I mean? Not really looking at it that deep. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Until you do your little research and you do your little checking around and you realize that, okay, so everybody had to be on the science.
Yes, not everybody.
Everybody had to be on it. If Kane's gonna say Assalamu Alaikum, everybody had to be on it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Hip hop put everybody on the science through divine right.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah.
So I say the Slum Village thing first. The brother Batin, he was one of my first students. I started this organization called the Order of Divine Reality under the Order of Melchizedek. Now, it was taught by a brother by the name of Amin. Sayyid Amin Hamid. No, El Hajj Amin. He went, traveled, was in the military, saw the world. He was in the Nation. He was a Black Panther. He was into a bunch of stuff, right? So this brother saw a few of us in the neighborhood rapping and whatnot. And this is when the Assalamu Alaikum part was out, like with Kane. So this had to be like early 90s. I used to go over there and build with him because I found out that he was a Muslim. And I wanted to know more about Islam or what the Muslim thing was and all of that. So that comes from, man, him giving me a lot of information. Him kind of being like a Elijah Muhammad to my Malcolm X.
Yeah.
But I'm more connected to the hip hop. I might have been 13. He might have been, 45, leaning on 50. So I'm going over here getting this wisdom, single parent, inner city stuff. So ain't no dad around. I'm going around here getting this game, getting this knowledge, and I'm taking the Imam Mesa books with me over there. He looking at me like, bro, this is too advanced for you. What are you doing? You got quantum physics and this and how to catch demons. And I'm like, I'm getting this knowledge, bro, the revelation, man. Man's coming. My grandmother used to read Revelation to me as a child. That was my bedtime stories.
For real.
So, a brother spooked. Basically into the Christ energy. I got to find it.
Yeah.
Where is it? It's coming. The devil gonna show up and some angels and the breathing fire and man, look. So I'm grabbing this information, right? And then it started to grow. 2 brothers became 4, became 8, became 16. Next thing you know, it's about 50 brothers coming over and sisters after a while. So the information may have gone, because it was 5 brothers. It was different brothers that just had different superior techniques. Like one was more into the Vedas. One was more into Kung Fu. One was more into Islam. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Some was over into maybe the more spiritual aspect of things, Christianity and stuff like that. So a lot of them came together to give us a lot of this information. So by the time you saw Batin with the turban, we was all rocking the turbans, and we hadn't got to the fez yet. We didn't know about Noble Drew Ali yet. That came, I want to say 2011, maybe 10. I caught a case and then ran into some Moors, and then it was like a bloom. And then we start studying the prophet and start understanding the nationality aspect component that we were missing. However, we had the creed. We already knew how to pray. We already knew what to call God. We already had the Kabbalah, Tantra, the Tao, numerology, astrology. Our order was strict on these specific sciences, and that's where a lot of this was coming from. So by the time y'all heard Batin speaking what y'all think was Hebrew, that's actually ancient Phoenician. That's the Phoenician, which is ancient Hebrew, excuse me. So Phoenician, going back to Canaanland, going back to our original language and all of that, we've been had that, been spitting that. And then by the time we started learning about the prophet, well, then that really kicked in everything, because now we're reading even more, and all of this stuff was making sense because we were always grabbing all of the different sciences, whether the gospel, the Quran, the Vedas,
regardless, everything applies.
Tao, all of that. We always
Everything
saw it as
applies.
one particular science, and bringing it all back together, you know? Say that again.
That's heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy.
You were breaking up. I can hear.
No, I said that's heavy.
Yes. So that's basically what we were doing. So by the time we found Drew put the icing on the cake, and it was a prophet that was already here saying that these things would take place. Saying the fourth or fifth generation will see my works, and they already gonna grab it and be running with it. And then my name, birth name, happens to be Reginald Moorer. Moorer. I come from a tribe of Moorers. But ain't nobody in my family talking about that. You understand what I'm saying?
That. Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, from brothers owning land, coming from Alabama by way of South Carolina, and then getting into, you know, the original 13 colonies and what my folks was doing there in the 1800s, 1700s, everything started making sense. Why we got so much land? Who are we? Yeah, I know we Indians and all that, but nah, it ain't no Indian thing. What, something else going on here?
Okay, let me ask you this question: Was there ever?
That's just been my journey, bro. And that's it.
Was there ever a time where the Indian applied? You hear me?
In my family?
Like just in your journey, but specifically, but specifically in your family. How's the?
Oh man, see, you breaking up, bro. I can't even...
Yeah, they're killing it right now. They don't want it.
I'm trying to hear you, man. The phone's breaking up.
Yeah, you know how they do. You know how they do.
Okay, I can hear you. You said you know how they do.
Yeah. You know, you hear me? You hear me still?
You said you were asking about the Indian misnomer?
Right, yeah. So what I was asking.
Well, my family always said that.
Yeah. Now why don't you go with that? Since your family said that.
You're still breaking up, bro. Sounds bad. You said why? What now?
Why didn't you go with that, with the Indian thing? Yeah, they're playing with it.
Because it's not that I didn't go with it. It's that I'm with the Indian aspect of it. What I didn't understand was I knew that we were more than Indian. I know that Indian wasn't what we were really called, because we had tribes. And the tribal aspect turned into Cherokee, which is still a made-up word. So you really got to get into Choctaw. You get to the Washita. You start getting to the Duggadamanya. You start getting to all these different tribal names. That vibe with me more than the word Indian. Even though Indian is a legal term, it's still a misnomer. You understand?
Yeah. Okay, so then
So the Indian thing didn't.
Okay, so now we could take Indian, we could put Indian over there. So we're not gonna use that. So now when it comes now to the tribes, then how is it that you found a way to separate from even that internationality, but it seems like the other tribe members can't really get the concept? Because if you're saying that you're gonna misnomer is Indian, and we know that misnomer is Indian, right? And no different than Noble Drew Ali, that he was Cherokee. So what do you mean you're not gonna listen to him? He's Cherokee telling you that we're Moors.
Oh, you're breaking up now. You said nobody what?
Noble Drew Ali is Cherokee telling us that we're Moors. You hear me?
You said that Noble Drew Ali is what telling us that we're Moors?
Noble Drew Ali is Cherokee, but he's telling us that we're Moors.
It's like
oh yeah, it must be
Cherokee.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got you. Cherokee, and he's telling us that we're Moors. Correct. Reason, the biggest reasoning for that is because in order to have a nation, the nation must be made up of tribes. We're all Moors, as in the sense that this was once Morocco, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. So from all the way into Mexico, or what do you want to call Mexico, Latin America, whatever, there's nothing Latin about it. However, all the way over to Africa, there was an empire. That's all us. The empire didn't fall till 1904 with the Spanish-American War. So as a nation, we might be Moors. Like, you got China. Now, China's a country, it's a republic now. Haha, you got the Manchurian Empire. Because that's what China used to be. But inside this Manchurian Empire, you have all these different tribes, for instance. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the different tribes make up the whole. As a whole, we're Moors. But every Moor, like we know, don't all vibe the same. That's like the black thing, trying to say we all black. And we all this. But you know certain black people conservative, some liberal, some, you know what I mean? Yeah. Over here, some doing, that's the nation. We keep looking at the main nation like one tribe. Certain tribes don't even marry each other within each other, but they still a nation. So until we can start understanding the truth of how we move and why the prophet did say certain things, he was totally correct. It just has to be dissected. Because I'm Cherokee with the Blackfoot, and then my mama's side is more like Olmec. They all dark skinned with the big noses and all of that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Olmec, because we lost so much knowledge and information. So we're still studying. We're still children as a nation. So the more we start to study and understand, going back to the knowledge of self, who we are, where we come from, then we can start extending out to the fellow man, fellow woman, all of that, and basically allow ourselves to be ourselves. But no one more can come tell what other more should be doing, because you don't know what that divine, what Allah got planned for that person, you know?
Right.
That's how I see it.
Just as you were talking about the tribes and the Olmecs and all that, I wanted to know if that has something to do with where the Libyans comes from. because I seen in one of the videos you were talking about some mural that got defaced, but it wasn't even graffiti. It was paper or some sticker or something like that.
Right. And, yeah.
So we're
What was the question? Because you're breaking up a little bit about the mural.
Yeah, no, because in the mirror
You
you
want me to
made
elaborate
reference.
about it?
No, you made reference to Lipians. You made some reference to people who have a certain type of lips, from what I got, and that there should be brothers on the wall. Like that people actually took the mural down
We're
because
gonna try that one more time. You said I made reference to.
Don't worry. You know what? Pull out of the thing and get back on. Just hit the
They
link
took
again.
it down because basically. Say it again.
No, I was gonna say, we'll just remove you from the thing. Hit the link again. We'll see if we could correct this choppiness.
Okay.
Just hit the link again. Yeah. You know how it goes. You know they gotta try. So the point of where we're going is so that those who, if you doubt something or whatever like that, that's no problem. Know that everyone knows. If they're studying all this and making their own order, no different than what Wu-Tang did, no different than what we did with the WoW, right? It's
Check.
check.
One.
Yeah, we're hearing you.
Check one.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Something. Yeah. So all the Indian talk that you were talking about and the tribes and all of that going into nationality and empire and recognizing that actually exists as the status, the Moorish ideal, right? And Noble Drew Ali making reference to us being Moors and him being Cherokee. That should be a telling sign to people who are quote unquote Indian, people who are on the reserve, whether they're not on the reserve, whether they're in some Dawes role, whether they got European name, Asiatic name, it doesn't matter. Moor is what's gonna really free you.
Right. That's the bloodline.
The bloodline is or the tribes are blinding them from the bloodline. It seems, because
so we gang banging basically is what we doing.
Right. It's supposed to be how you're looking at it. This is our first conversation. This is not some 20-year-old friendship or whatever like that. You know what I mean? This is some brothers who are vibrating on a certain frequency.
No. We just met.
You know what I mean? Right? You know what I'm saying? So and you're saying the same thing that I'm saying.
Because the love got to be there first.
And of course, Drew Ali's the reference point of why the love's got to be there. Mm-hmm. And it's absolutely obvious. It's just like yesterday. We're on the live yesterday.
Ain't no beefing.
We're on the live yesterday, and Amor had a vent session where he just had some stuff on his mind. You know what I mean? And in the end, he was just like, "Man, I just love you, Moors, because this wouldn't happen any other way." You know what I mean? Than me getting it out because of love, not because of some hatred for somebody or whatever. you know. But being that we're talking about
Moors learn to love
instead of
instead of
hate,
hate.
yeah. Being that we're talking about Detroit, and then there's reference of Detroit in the Moorish literature and all of that. Have in your research, or through the years, has things come up there relative to Noble Drew Ali, like buildings that the temple used to be, or um, any marks, if you will, of the Moorish movement in Detroit? They're playing hard. Oh, we can't hear you. No audio. We can't hear you.
Well, bro, I'll be
Oh,
honest
there you are. There you are.
with you. Like,
I hear
I'm
you.
so bolo dolo with a lot of what I do. I left church with the mass worship for a reason, like on purpose, because hear me?
Nah, you're tripping out.
Can you hear me now?
You're tripping out crazy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can kind of hear you. Crazy. How come it can't just be every time boys trying to do something good, here they go. Let us have some twerking somebody up here. I bet you the stream will run super fine. No issues. Zero issues. Zero issues. How? Brothers unifying. Unifying to show you that it's all about love. It's not a question. Oh, you're more? Oh, I'm more? Hey, Islam, Islam. What? Listen, yo. Yeah, you sound clear.
Is it better now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sweet. Okay, what was your question before they start blocking us again? It seemed like we got 2-3 minutes before they come with the bullshit.
Drew Ali in Detroit. Is there anything there?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That we could say, yeah. Like what's up with Drew Ali in Detroit?
Well, I say Drew Ali in Detroit. Drew is everywhere in the D. There's a lot of temples here, but like I said, none of the temples are adhering to the divine principles and what they're supposed to be doing.
Mm.
You go there and they serving more Jesus juice. It's more like church than anything. You know what I mean? Nobody's teaching or talking about what we're talking about as far as the spirituality and the creed. Most people are stuck on Drew Ali. What he did, how he moved, this, that. No, okay, that was 100 years ago. We got that. What are we supposed to be doing next?
Right.
It's time for motivation. It's time for movement. It's time for love. It's time for purification. I don't see that type of purification moving with the temples here. I see certain Moors moving in their own individuality, building amongst themselves as tribes. But the temples, man, look, bruh.
But
you already know how the Freemasons get down. So most of that stuff already occupied.
Yeah.
They playing a net and catch game. Anybody in there coming in there with the innocents? Good luck, because you know what I mean. It's like the White House. You can't do nothing up in there.
Right.
One man ain't about to go up in there signing no policies and change the whole game. So it's here. The spirituality is here, but as far as like a national movement here, them people don't call me, and I'll be everywhere, fessed up all the time. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
still keep moving in my own capacity. I don't
Right,
really
right.
worry about what anybody else is doing. If I'm trailblazing, I'm doing what I'm doing, even with the music. My music has always been spiritual. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Even with that, with Dilla producing for it, and we always on that spirituality tip. We never stop. However, you know, waiting for everybody to catch up, man. Shit, I can't wait. I gotta keep
Straight
moving.
up. Time for action. Tap, tap, for some
Right.
tap, for some
What I
action.
do. Hell,
For real. Yeah, they tripping it
for real.
again.
I don't know. So if they make a Moorish bandwagon one day, and everybody jump
Yeah.
on it, and then you know what I'm saying, brothers like us in ahead of it, and you know what I'm saying, well we
Yeah.
can assist and help and demonstrate that type of love and sharing and caring and the divine principles. I say we do that better than trying to join somebody's temple and tell them, hey man, look, because
Do this, do that.
that
Yeah.
mass worship, man, I stay away from that.
For real. For real. When we were talking about the lessons from the East with the Hindus, you were speaking about the Vedas and stuff, and that you sat down with the Sri. What type of lessons did you
Okay, you
get
break
out of?
again. Say that again.
What type of lessons did you get out of the Vedas teachings that with regard to more science
You said the
to the
lessons
relate?
from the Vedas.
Yeah,
You said how the
like
Vedas
when
fit.
yeah how the Vedas fit and the conversation you had with the Hindu leader with the Sri.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll show you. In your Moorish Holy Quran or the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus, whichever you want to call the book, it's the same book. It speaks of the 18 missing years of Yahushua's life. So in that 18 years, where did he go? What was he doing? In was reading the Vedic teachings. These deities or these gods in which are mentioned in the Moorish Holy Quran are right over in your Ishkan temple, bro. And you probably got one in your city. All that science comes down to the purity component. Purity. They have rituals that can clear your ancestral bloodline from any curses and BS that they may be going through, because they get a being when they missed it, they trying to work through you.
Mm-hmm.
They have a vegetarian diet on how they bless their food. Most of the rituals that we look at in the what do you call it, the Old Testament with the priests and all of that, they do that every day. I'm talking about people who are demonstrating every day. All you got to do is go up in there and catch the vibe. It works, and you'll see how this part fits perfectly with this part. You understand what I'm saying? It's science. But until you remove the ego, remove the prejudice, remove any of the whatever, the blockages that we may have, and don't even get into what the people doing in there in the politics. I'm not saying join anybody's temple. I'm saying go get your juice, man. Go get your nectar. Because it's up in there. And they're doing it all the time. And they got prophecies that's saying that the Moors was going to come back and take their temple to a high another level. Once I read that from the translator, Prabhupada, Swami Prabhupada, who started the Islam movement, years translate. So Ishkan Temple with the Vedas, it really got started in the 60s with like hippies. It was the hippies and the brothers at the time. You know what I'm saying? So that love movement that was gonna happen, not an amalgamation. It was a movement of divinity that was coming together. And you know, drugs and they did about because the racism, the prejudice, those people didn't have that. So the love was already manifesting, and all these people came and they started this movement. And then the Indian people came from India, and then they kind of took it over. So that's what we're seeing now with the temple. But it's still like science. And it's still, it's nothing under the sun. We didn't create or do. But I don't get stuck in Egypt. I don't get stuck in Kemet. I got enough of Kemet. Okay, Kemet is over. Now what? I'm going to go to China. I'm going to go to India. I'm going to go to Americas. You know what I mean?
Right.
Africa, I got that. I don't need no more Africa. We done had the red, black, and green ever since.
Forever.
Here we are in the Americas.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Forever, ever, 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 ever. And we don't know what's up the block of the mounds around the corner. You probably got a holy mound around the corner somewhere. You're supposed to be going up on. It's calling out to you.
And they're playing with
we just got to figure that out, get that knowledge and that information. We could get the spiritual science and purify ourselves. Man, coming together ain't nothing, man. That's easy.
Yeah.
That's the simple part of it all. The biggest part is really trying to get people to understand who they are and their importance and how they're part and parcel of this movement, as well as this government once we manifest the government.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be heavily into politics, jurisdiction, nationality, creed, 3/5 humans. You know that 3/5? We're supposed to be the 5/5. That way we're included. We can activate the full Constitution to make that shit work for us. That's what the prophet was talking about from what I'm studying. We don't have to change or rearrange nothing.
Everything's right there.
Already created from Muslim law.
Everything's right there.
All we got to do is enforce it.
Yeah. Everything's there.
But we got to enforce it first. We got to know what it is and how to put in like anybody else, right? Didn't the Asians just get their anti-Asian bill? You can't touch an Asian without doing some crazy time? Did you hear about that one?
No, not even.
You know the Asian hate crimes that was taking place? Are you there, bro?
Yeah.
Well, because all the Asian hate crimes was taking place, you can look it up. The Asians got together.
Oh, yeah, and got there. Yeah.
And now there's a bill that say you touch one of them.
Yeah.
What's stopping the Moors from doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing's stopping us. But you gotta be a nation first. You have to have your mentality as we are a people.
Yeah, that's what the wake-up call is. Get us to see that we're a nation. They gotta see it to believe it. And then even if they see it, they're not even gonna go with it, even if they see it. Because the brainwash is deep. You hear me?
Yeah, it's staticky. Sound like.
Yeah, they've been.
Do you have headphones on?
Nah, not even. They've been playing games. The whole time you're
you already know, bro.
Yo, dude, you already know. This is what they do. When we're talking about the reference points to the Americas, you have any books, authors, or whatever in your travels, and as well in your travels, did you see Moorish things anywhere that got your attention?
You said travel?
Yeah, in your travels, in your world travels, has
Yeah,
there been
I should
anything that you've seen
I'm gonna
that
back in.
I didn't hear you there. Say that again.
Still can't hear you, bro. I heard.
Yeah, they're going hard. They're going super hard. It's too much. It's just too much. They really are. Peace.
Yo, you there? Peace.
You can hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you. So we might got 2 more minutes again for the block. Yes, I can hear you.
You know how they do this thing. I can't remember what the hell I asked you.
You someone
Okay.
said
Oh
something
yeah.
about traveling.
Oh yeah. I was asking about you in your travels, have you seen anything Moorish that got your attention? And any books or author references in your studies that stood out with regard to just us knowing who we are? That whole know thyself reference points.
Mm. Oh man, that's okay. I'm trying to think. I gotta think on this one. Let's see. In my travels, mostly that I've seen that is that the things that were more Moorish that stuck out to me is when I went to DC, when I drove Virginia. I took a trip to South Carolina to Hilton Head with my family, and driving, I'm looking at all these Moorish indigenous names of streets, towns, you name it, it's everywhere. Especially on the East Coast. It's, you know what I mean? I haven't been to Philly yet to really look at what Philly, and because that was the first capital, that was the capital initially before DC.
Yeah, Philly has some stuff.
So I know, it's like movies like National Treasure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That type of stuff is important. I've seen that. I know that that's real. Mostly the Moorish science or the closer clues that I get, never believe this. I get them from Freemasons. Because I talk to everybody.
Yeah.
But if you talk to a Freemason under intelligent tone, man, shit, motherfucker be like, here, thank you, please, help us.
They
I've
give
had
up the
motherfuckers
good.
get on their knees and fall down and say, please keep praying. Please stay alive. Y'all all we got. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? This is really serious. This is for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the ones that know.
That
are in the know.
Exactly.
Man, they know, bro, and they not playing. They serious. They waiting for us to wake up. They need us to wake up.
Yeah.
Europeans have been more friendly and handy than most blacks. Most black people, I can't even tell them they not black. I'm about to get to, that's cursing at somebody. That black and that proud, or African American, whatever those misnomers.
Whatever.
Look, yeah. I stopped debating. I talked to certain people that's not trying to hear it. You know what I mean? Because no, everybody gonna snap out of it or get it when they get it. You see what I'm saying? We already a nation. All we gotta do is just ourselves, and then the law will protect us. We have to enforce the law, though. First, we gotta know the law to enforce it.
Enforce it.
That's where a lot of our divine feminine sisters supposed to come in. Because when sisters get mad, things change.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Immediately.
Especially in America. When women get mad, immediately. So imagine if the sisters wasn't trying to, Nicki Minaj trying to do they docking that, and they really got on their own square or their own vine and fig tree. Telling you, man, the world be a much better place. Trying to tell you. All they have to do after that is, learn how to share the gods. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it ain't enough for us going around for any of the sisters. Everything comes in, we start figuring it out and getting together. Now we got power. But yeah, that sounds like a cool dream and all that and whatever. But you know what I mean? Until then.
The illusion.
Until then.
They love that.
We gonna get no more.
They love that simulation. That simulation.
We ain't gonna get no. You said civilization? You said that's too much like civilization?
No, the simulation. They love the simulation.
Oh yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real. But a lot of it is because it caters their femininity. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the European not giving up none of the clout that he got because of the oppression that's put on us.
Right.
They ain't just giving that up. They benefiting. They might be like, dang, man, that's messed up, but
they get
on the bottom of the totem pole as the brothers, bro. You feel me?
Straight. Yeah.
So when the prophet said, one book though that really did help me. It's got some good stuff in it. It's got some stuff in it that I really don't mess with too. I don't agree 100% with anybody. However, you know what I'm saying? I'm still my own man, but
right.
That Exhuming of a Nation, Noble Drew Ali, the Exhuming of a Nation.
Yeah.
But that's good study. Good
they're killing you right now.
Knocked out. I got the third Abdat version or whatever. And I got some too, man. I used to call those brothers and really build with them from time to time. And then, once I started talking about the divine feminine, wasn't nobody listening. So I was like, okay, let me.
You want to hear that?
Let me move on over here real quick.
Yeah.
Because let me see y'all in a minute, man. Y'all had what the I would say the template and the basis of what those brothers are doing over there with the Moorish American National Government.
Yeah.
It's a good base to start from to learn, but it's I'm not in kindergarten anymore. I never really was. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
To them and see what they're like, okay, but they're more teaching certain things that are kind of ready. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not trying to go back to kindergarten again. I'm ready to, you know what I'm saying?
To move
on this thing. And a lot of people, they don't have the confidence, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the information. But information is what makes you confident.
Right.
If I had not studied, I would not, you know what I'm saying, even be able to have this conversation with you.
Right.
It's a lot to study.
You have to put something in. Yeah, you got to put something in.
It is a lot. Yeah. However, you know what I'm saying? You got to start somewhere.
Yeah. So might as well start somewhere.
Job application. You got to start somewhere. Best to start in the mirror.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Start with your tribe. Start with your family. Say, who's these people over here? Because that's what's going to get us the rights. So we can understand rights. Divine rights that we're given. Not the shit they giving. The government gives you this. No, nigga. That's Muslim law. You read that Constitution? I say read the Constitution.
Yeah.
Study the Constitution of the United States of America. Every Moor should know that.
Still today, people have to be. With a
law dictionary, though.
Told to study that. Yeah.
You
Islam.
breaking up again, bro.
Yeah, you know how they're doing it all day.
Say that again.
This how they do. All day, this how they do. All day.
Right. Yeah, that's what they do, man. They block. I heard you say that though. But I say read,
Yeah.
man. Read.
Straight.
Study. Don't
You know,
stop
give
reading.
thanks.
Read this Constitution with a Black Laws dictionary. Get Black Laws dictionaries.
Tell them.
And once you understand, like, law, it changes everything, man. I mean, we should really be our own lawyers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody should know that.
You got to be your own.
Especially with the prison and the private game, with all of that. Man, look. I would say that it's remedies for everything that we go through as a people. However, if we don't take the time to study, we'll never get those remedies. We'll never get to the part where we stand, oh, do this, and they let me go. Say this, or don't say this, and you'll walk right out of there. That's the power we have as nationals, not citizens.
Yeah.
Nationals. All
Exactly.
Moors are nationals, not citizens. We're not sovereign citizens. We got to get our jargon right, our legal jargon, our words and how we speak, because there's so many people that's misinformed. That's why so many Moors in jail, prison, operating under, misinformation, and then not understanding jurisdiction, not understanding law. You know what I mean?
Period.
We not above the law. We're for the law. We are the law. Excuse me.
And we're about the only ones that are
the right
law
mind.
and for the law. Yeah, we're about the only ones.
Right.
No one else is for the law.
Well, everybody else, man. Like I said. Right. I mean, it's love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. We gotta be for the law with some of that in there. A lot of that's just talking about once we understand it, and it's God first.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, uninformed as well as misinformed. And a lot of the times when we first get this Moorish knowledge or Moorish science, we start thinking we He-Man and we can just do whatever we want to do and just keep it moving like that. And that's just not it. We just can't, do whatever you want to do, because a lot of us still coming from a place from hate in our hearts. We haven't gotten rid of the hate yet.
Yeah,
and that's back to the Vedic
heart. It's not gonna work if you have hate in your heart.
That comes with the purification and the spirituality of the heart.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. I said right in tune with you, exactly.
Just breaking up.
Exactly. They're playing with it.
Yes. So, this is a slow process, man. Slow process, bro. But hey, it's got to start somewhere.
You got to start.
You know what I mean? So that's why I do my music. That's why I do my Moorish Mud show. That's why I do what I do, just to put some kind of experience or something so people can see, like, wait a minute. Or at least just take the time to think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Kane gave me with the Assalamu Alaikum. Like,
yeah.
Did he say, what was that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go look that up, man. And then hopefully, 10 years, 20 years, any of the young Moorish identities that are listening, watching now, come on, Rome wasn't built in a day. However, when we snap out of it over tomorrow, it's the power we have. But it's got to be done right, the right principles. Other than that, I'm not going back into slavery. You feel me, brother?
Yep, straight up.
We can't get on top and then violate again.
That is not an option.
That's how we got in slavery the first time.
Yeah.
The violations. We can't violate. We got to keep it tight with the Most High, man. We got to. We ain't got no choice, because another 400 years?
Hell no. Yeah.
We got to do better.
Yeah.
And most of that happens when, like I said, we realize that we are one. No matter where we come from in the Americas, this was still the Moorish Empire. This is still Morocco.
Regardless.
Just because they changed the land, took the flag, and gave it to them over there in Africa, and that still don't stop the bloodline, the history, the way we look, the way our hair grows, the way we talk, why we vibe, why we like the same type of stuff, might love the same type of foods. It's because we are people. Tribes just got to link up, man. The lost tribes got to come up, start networking on purpose. Other than that, shit. You know, what we gonna do, man? You know what I'm saying?
The tribe, it's like
what we gonna go back
want to stay. Yeah, the tribes want to stay lost. It seems they just want to stay lost. The tribes are content being lost, which is absolutely crazy.
And once we find ourselves, we can start acting accordingly.
Right.
That's what the main thing is an act. We need some people in Congress. You feel me?
Yeah.
We need some people
even
in the
beyond
government.
them. Yeah, even beyond them. Meet some people wherever they're at.
We need our own political parties.
Yeah. But
we got to do is enforce the law, man, and the law will respect us.
But those parties can't be fighting for anything in a democracy. Because once you're in that realm.
Wait, breaking up. Say that again.
Once you're in the realm of the democracy, you automatically lose. So when we set up our political party, it better be for our own in our own venue. You know, where there's other Moorish political parties that people are going to be voting for or whatever.
It goes like a part and parcel. It's both. This one person, this one body makes up the representatives of whatever we do nationally to go and make shit happen for our people. And they come back with that check. Our people, though.
Only way to work.
Second principle, truth comes in. We got the love, but once we start dealing with the truth, then we can get to the freedom. You know what I'm saying? But the peace come for that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We can't have those kind of worries. Because we know divinely, if that person don't do what they gonna do, Allah gonna get them. This is a theocracy. Something happened, they go sell us out, and they goddamn plane crash or something. You feel me?
Yeah.
We gonna know what's up.
Divine's gonna step
in. That's justice. That's what that Shemitah. That's what the justice is about. The angels, all that's go. We have divine power. Imagine a nigga trying to rob Moses. You feel me? With the breastplate on and the staff, and niggas don't stick him up for his breastplate.
They wouldn't even try.
You think it's gonna go? Do you think the angel, everybody gonna allow that? No. No. Ain't nobody running Moses for his jewels and his breastplate, man. And slow down. Stop. We gotta get back on that level of the creed so we have that confidence in what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we ain't worrying about
what.
You know what I mean? We our eyes is on the prize.
Yeah. Islam.
Eyes gotta be on the prize, man, because it's gotta work itself out. It's a lot of brothers is lost. They didn't know what to do.
They're breaking
The
it up.
momentum get so people can start being more active. What can I do? How can I lend a hand? I heard about that. What? Yeah, I got these books. I read that, and then my mind changed. I see y'all. It's something up. Oh, y'all telling the truth. Like, yeah, nigga, just gotta read. This this ain't no simple,
Straight up.
easy little thing we doing here.
Yeah.
It's
Gotta
very
put that work in.
complicated and intricate because we talking about slaves rising from the dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We waking the dead, bro. That's what we doing. So
Straight.
that ain't no easy job, my G.
Yeah, that's work.
By no means.
That's work. Yeah. Yeah.
That's work. That's 24/7. And having a life and gotta eat, pay your bills, do all these things. We're not getting no federal whatever to do this. We probably could though. Now that I thought about it, I never thought about that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
If there's any kind of thing that's out there to say, hey, you know what I mean? Like even if the natives, anybody, like give us some federal something to get us this little school
To get
something,
ourselves started. Yeah. Yeah. That's where it has to be at.
See, we start talking about the school and shit, then it start breaking up again. Say it one more time, bro.
No, I say exactly. That's all I'm gonna say. Exactly.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely get in again. We'll definitely get in again. This thing's going nuts.
It's gotta be something.
Nah, it wasn't doing this yesterday.
It's gotta be something, I suppose, man.
It wasn't doing this yesterday.
Word. That's what time it is, though, bro. I mean,
yeah.
You gotta get a little bit more crazier and get out here and start building and representing for what we representing for. Because there's a lot of us. We just not, you know what I'm saying? We ain't talking. We ain't having a family reunions.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody kind of in their own thing. And then, like I told you, bro, that debating thing that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, gotta run. That's there, ain't it?
Yeah, we just gotta get with the ones on the frequency and keep expanding. Just get with the ones on the frequency and keep expanding.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's all about expansion. And
peace and love, more. Give thanks for the build. I don't know if you have any sites or social media or whatever you want to put out so that the people could get connected to you. The line is crazy.
well, yes. Let's see. You can check me out more on you on Facebook, on Twitter. I'm everywhere, man. Someone putting it out there, no matter what I do, how I do it. But mainly the Instagram. I'm real active more on Instagram than anything. TikTok too. Mud Dog Spears on TikTok. So you can check a lot of some of the first videos that I put up on the TikTok and shit. So yeah.
Give thanks, more. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
We'll definitely
I don't get too many calls often, you know what I'm saying?
For real.
Yes, please, and thank you. Appreciate you, man. For real though, seriously. All right, so peace and love. Thank you.
Peace and love.
And gratitude, man.
Give thanks, more. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Islam, Moors. Time to get fat. Islam to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to all the studious. Honors to all the studious. Oh yeah, before we go. Sixth day. Honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all the Moors worldwide who know that we are a nation. The Moors who know that we are a nation. Honors to you. The Moors who know that Noble Drew Ali is their prophet. Honors to you. All the parents who are teaching their children about Moor science. Honors to you. Honors to all the Moors putting their neck, arm, toe, ankle, spleen, eyeball, spiritual self, mental self in the line of fire for our people. Honors to you. The Moors had the stuff unlocked. It's unlocked. Anybody look threatened in the picture? They look rather comfortable. This circus magician guy. Jawadi's the man. Jawali is the man. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors. Oh yeah. Well, you just reminded me. Just reminded me. Moorish head makes plans for conclave. Beginning October 15th and continuing through the entire week, the Moorish Science Temple of America, of which Mr. Drew Ali is the founder and president, will hold his first general conference at Unity Hall, 3140 Indiana Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. President Ali began definite plans to this end upon his recent return from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, where he spent several days lecturing at the local Moorish temple. This organization is playing a useful and definite part in the advancement of sacred obligations of American citizenship. Indications are that this convention will be one of the most interesting ever held in the city. It will be featured by delegates attending in pilgrimages from 15 different states where local temples have been established. There will be an interesting parade in which men and women members will wear regalia similar to that worn in Eastern countries. A camel will be used. During the session, specific reports of the general work and civic accomplishments of local accomplishments will be made. Reports also of the business enterprises that have been established in connection with these temples, such as 2 grocery and market stores in Detroit, a laundry in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and a moving and express business and grocery in Chicago. These examples of collective effort show that the members of the Moorish Science Temple and their leaders have a sound economic program and are blazing the trail and making the pathway over which our posterity may travel unhampered and unafraid. It must be kept in mind that no great movement can take definite shape in 2 or 3 years so as to be error-proof, said President Ali. However, through accumulating experience, each annual convention ought to witness a more perfect and wider functioning organization, representing the organized experience of men and women members throughout the country and possibly in time the world over. And continuing, President Ali said, constructive criticism from sympathetic friends in and outside of our ranks is welcome. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to all the mothers. Islam. Peace and love to all Moors.